Hey folks, welcome back to Canada's Boxing Channel. It is Friday, September the 5th. Hope everyone's doing well. Looking forward to the weekend. This week seems to have gone especially quickly. I'm not really sure why, but anyways, hopefully the weekend is a good one for you. There is some boxing news, but it sort of falls into the category of what I think we would call Friday funnies, really. And it's one of those things which, you know, if you have a YouTube channel, you're not even sure if you really want to comment upon it, but here goes, and I'll mix it in with some other stuff as well. It appears that Mike Tyson, Iron Mike, as I knew him, is once again looking to step into the boxing ring. He appears to be in discussions, talks. I'm not sure how close it is. You guys may have more news than I on this. To fight Floyd Mayweather Jr., unbeaten Floyd Mayweather Jr., he of the 50-0. Honestly, it seems to be so preposterous that it's one of those things that's sort of, hard to bend your head around. But it's all over social media, and who knows, right? I really don't know where boxing is going when I read things like this. In other news, let's move past that bit of preposterous news. It appears that Froch is also talking about coming out of retirement, this time to fight the former MMA world champion contender. He fell, I think, a bit short. And now Misfits boxing icon Darren Till. Carl Froch on his show Froch on Fighting was speaking with a fellow from DAZN about whether or not this fight would capture the public imagination, would have any legs. It appears that there was some sort of seriousness about it. Darren Till, you may or may not know, called out Carl Froch after Darren Till won his most recent Misfits boxing match, at which Carl Froch was present. I don't know how well Darren Till is known. I know of him, but only really sort of tangentially. I think he's well known amongst a younger demographic, the demographic that's sort of really following MMA. He's a very good talker. I particularly enjoyed the time that he lit up Big John Fury and Tommy Fury. But, I mean, that's about it, really. I suppose he looks like he's sort of an area level boxer. Carl Froch has been retired for 11 years. Carl Froch, of course, former unified super middleweight champion. Carl Froch, Hall of Famer. Carl Froch, in case you've never watched his show, is fond of talking about how he appeared in front of 80,000 people at Wembley. He and George Groves. Would that be a fight? I suppose it would have to be a Misfits, sort of under the Misfits umbrella. I would have no interest in watching it, but hey, we're on the subject of ridiculous things. We're talking about Friday funnies. It seems as though there's some half-assed seriousness about it. I would assume that Carl Froch, who is 48 or 49, could, with some training, have a little bit of a move around with Darren Till. Probably wouldn't get hurt, I wouldn't think. But would I watch it? No, actually I wouldn't. It would have to be free, and I would have to have nothing else on the go for me to watch it. But hey, this is a channel for boxing, and there might be a segment of people out there who want to watch it. So therefore, I'm going to talk about it a wee bit. And now that's done. In other somewhat more serious boxing news, Anthony Joshua's promoter, Eddie Hearn, has been saying that it's unlikely that AJ will return this year. apparently that fight, of course, with Jake Paul fell through. I think Jake Paul was playing with AJ, to be perfectly honest. Hey, just my opinion, right? Because Jake Paul is now fighting Tank Davis, who is 7 weight classes lower than him. Again, in the realm of Friday funnies. But AJ is talking about coming back January or February of next year. I think you can probably read that as March, to be perfectly honest. And they're talking about AJ having a sort of a warm-up fight with a top 20 rated fighter before, the holy grail of fighting Tyson Fury sometime in the summer of 2026. Well, you will recall that AJ was talking about retiring in 2026. Maybe that's now being pushed back to 2027. I personally, as you know, if you watch this channel, the story of AJ and Tyson is getting, so old that, most of us are losing interest if we haven't already lost interest. I'd still like to see it, but there comes a point where, Zimmer frames at dawn, right? Eddie Hearn says that the Jake Paul fight is still on AJ's radar, which, again, what can you say, right? Other than it's a massive money grab. But Duke McKenzie has been saying that even if AJ was to fight a top 15 or so rated fighter, there's a lot of danger for AJ. Duke McKenzie says AJ is mentally fragile. Now, I don't know how well Duke McKenzie knows AJ, whether he's observed this firsthand or whether this is just his opinion piece. I tend to pay some attention to Duke McKenzie. I don't think he's one of these overly hyperbolic type commentators. I don't know. I suppose heavyweight division, anybody in the top 20 could probably give AJ a hard night if that person was suitably motivated and AJ made mistakes. So we've talked on this channel before about who AJ should fight. So, go back and have a look at those videos. Until something is announced, I really can't get overly excited about it. And Moses Itauma, just to conclude the video, is looking to make another appearance in December, I believe. Filip HRGOVIC is being touted as the front runner. Now, that would be a real step up for Moses, and that would be a fight I would very much get behind. That's something that's sort of, would interest me. But there we go. There's the mixed bag of news for this Friday. And that's all I've got for the moment. So please like, please share, please subscribe if you can, and I'll see you on the next video. Have a great weekend, wherever in the world you happen to be. Cheers. Bye-bye.